This is Josh Olmstead. Welcome to Northwest Disc Golf's coverage of the 20th Annual Nuclear Meltdown, presented by Ice Harbor Brewing. If you enjoy our coverage, please check out our new Patreon page to help support the growth of our channel. On the card today, we have Jesse Garcia, Ben Squires, Ryane Laforte, and Cameron Messerschmidt, four top Northwest pros ready to battle it out at the Columbia Park Disc Golf Course. As you can see, we have a very tight card for the final round, so you're in for a real treat on this windy day in Kennwick, Washington. Up first, we have hole 1, 405-foot par 3.
Jesse Garcia, 38766, Walla Walla, Washington.
Hole 3, this is a pretty straight par 3. Long, fairly open drive with just one major tree on the left that you can see Jesse hit there.
Ben Squires, NWDG number 43290, and I'm from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
You can already hear the wind. This is going to be a really consistent story today, as it doesn't really let up lighter than about 20 miles an hour out here.
My name's Ryane Laforte. I'm with you in Washington.
If you can believe it, the tournament director told me that this is actually considered a mild day out in the Tri-Cities area, as it can get up to 35 miles an hour.
Cameraman Messerschmidt, NWDG number 58814 from Vancouver, Washington.
Saturday's round, this hole was about 60 feet shorter. Ooh, as Cameron hits a rough first tree to start the round. See if he can make a big upshot here. So about 290 feet to the pin. Skip it under the trees. Ryane in the blue, taking a forehand. You can see on the left there, that is actually Saturday's basket. So they are playing to a longer position. It's just on the other side of a creek bed. As Jesse lays up a nice upshot for a drop-in par. Looks like Ben came up a little bit short, as Ryane will lay up his par. This is a 27-hole course, so part 1 will be the first 14 holes today. They're playing a much harder Sunday layout. Plays a good 6 or 7 strokes harder and a lot further, as this course starts off hard and doesn't really get a lot easier. Ben will tap out his 3. In this wind, even the 5-footers are going to be something that needs a lot of focus. Because when you've got 20-mile-an-hour wind in your face, they get a little bit harder. So on hole 1, Jesse gets the only par on the card, pushing himself to a 2-stroke lead, as Ben, Ryane, and Cameron all take 4s. Hole 2, we have a 340-foot par 3. Pretty open and straight. This is actually one of the easier holes on the course. Nice early birdie opportunity for these pros. This Sunday layout does not have a lot of birdie opportunities, so you need to take advantage of them when you can. Ben here with a backhand, just barely missing the tree on the right. He's going to be about 35 feet left of the pin. Ryan's going to try to stick a forehand up there. That's looking like it's doing a really good job. It's about a 25-footer. Cameron will finish off the card. It's going with a hyzer flip. That's a risky shot with that much wind, as he ends up a little bit closer to the Saturday basket. Kind of unique seeing 2 baskets on these holes, but I was just told that 20 of these Innova disc catchers are brand new, donated to the course, as there's been a lot of excellent work to get this course in tip-top shape. When this course is not in tournaments, it's actually just 18 holes, pretty short, pretty easy. As Cameron cleans up a nice par. Ooh, Ryane missing a birdie putt there. He is going to be disappointed with that. Jesse takes his par. and it's hard to see, but Ryane actually misses that par putt. The wind looked like it pushed him right out of the chains. So he'll take a bogey. Ben will tap out his par. And after a pretty good set of drives, no one on the card takes that birdie. So some early struggles here in the wind as Jesse holds on to a 2-stroke lead going into hole 3. Hole 3 has another short birdie opportunity, 280 feet. There's a double mando through that tree gap, as Jesse does a great job of peering the gap. If you make it through the gap, it's an easy birdie, but it is no easy task in this wind, as Ben misses the mando right. It's only about 20 feet wide. It's really easy to focus on the hole, focus on how you're going to get the disc to the hole, and just forget about making that double mando. This Cam is safe there in the middle, and Ryane just misses left of the mando. He's going to have to take a drop from the middle. So Cameron with a bit of a lucky tree gap. He throws his upshot. He'll have a putt for par. Probably wants to get that a little bit closer. Then here from the drop zone, just hoping to clean up bogey, as this is not a hole you want to take a double on early in the round. There's only 2 rounds here at this tournament. It's 27 holes. They play 1 round on Saturday, 1 round on Sunday, so time is a bit of a premium on this course. You're only going to get 1 chance to play every position, as Jesse gets a great birdie there. It's a good way to start the round, building a lead on this top card. Ben cleans up a par. So Jesse with the only birdie. Ben actually got a bogey, as did Ryane. Cameron cleans up his 3. A couple of penalty strokes early. Hole 4 is an island hole. So there is a big island out there. It's about 40 feet wide and about 60 feet deep. Cameron takes the backhand. Cameron plays for Daredevil discs. He told me a few of the discs he's throwing. He throws a mixed bag, but says he really enjoys the opportunity to play for Daredevil. As Ben just misses the mando left, that is really close. Unfortunate break there. Let's see if Ryane can make it in on a hyzer, and that's a great shot. Looks like it was a mid-range. So that's Ben from the drop zone. He's going to take his bogey. Cameron with the big birdie putt.
Good putt,
he cans it.
That was sick. You knew you were going to make.
We'll have to see that on replay. Elevated basket. Takes advantage of a moment without too much wind. This looks like Ryane was rushing to take advantage of that wind break. You can see even on a 5-footer, these guys are looking to get any escape from the wind that they can manage. So Ben drops a stroke, Ryane and Cameron with birdies, but Jesse Garcia's opened up a 4-stroke lead over Cameron, definitely positioning himself well early in the round. Hole 5, this is a 420-foot par 3. You'll see a basket on the left, but these guys are actually playing to a position that's deep in the right. This is much harder than Saturday's position. The short position here is just a straightforward open field shot. For this shot, if you end up in that open flat area where Ryane just drove, you have about another 120 feet down the channel through a tight tree-lined gap. As Jesse needs to get that to sit, and he almost gets a black ace. Ben, the only person on the card to go with a forehand, a little bit surprising, and he gets the best drive of the group there. He'll have one of the only easy pars on this hole. Jesse airs out a huge flex shot. And even with that roll away, that is a pretty good shot. Let's get some applause from the group. Ryane from the knees with a forehand. That's an excellent upshot. This is definitely one of the harder par threes, as it takes a good 2 shots. As you can see, Cam there goes a little bit long. And Ben, after that forehand drive, is not happy with that upshot. He's left himself a good 50 feet. And he will take another bogey. So Jesse here with a good opportunity fails to take a stroke, as Cam also cleans up the first par of the card, and Ryane will take the other par. So here's Jesse to clean up a 4, and that's a beautiful wind putt. You can tell he's played this wind course. Definitely advantage to the spin putters here. So Jesse holds on to a 3-stroke lead over Cam. Still holding on to that advantage here going into hole 6. The first big par 4 test here on the Sunday layout. This is 595 feet. This hole is really wide. You can take this wide right gap that Cameron's going for. It's got the big arm. But on the left you can see there's maybe a little bit safer of a fairway, but it's a little bit longer, a little bit less direct to the hole. As Ryane is going to be happy with that. It's about 330 feet out in the fairway. Jesse airing out a huge hyzer. He's laughing. I think he knows he just stayed in bounds there on the right. Missing the fence line. Ben with a solid shot there. We'll have to see what his lie looks like. Ryane looks like he might have been going for a roller shot there, but he is going to hit that tree wall.
Incoming.
Jesse going for a huge hyzer. It's over that last tree wall there. You can see the pin tucked way back in the corner. This is definitely a difficult par 4. Ben and Jesse both end up right near the pin with some great upshots. This Cam here, this is to get up to the green in 2 on the par 4. Throws a nice shot. So this is Cam for his birdie, but he comes up short. The challenges of putting in the wind, nothing is easy here. So Ryane cleans up an excellent 4. This is Ben for his birdie, and he sinks it. Nice putt. Definitely getting a card on most of the field, even in open. Jesse will also take an excellent birdie. 600 feet to a protected pin. Cam cleans up a nice 4, making sure not to let the hole deal too much damage. And Jesse will push his lead back out to 4 strokes. Moving on to hole 7, we have a 360-foot par 3. This is a really tough tee shot. There's OB to the right, and there's an OB creek bed in the middle. But for these pros, this is going to be a pretty easy shot, as it's 350 feet without too many obstacles. As Ben's calling for a park job. Excellent looking shot there.
Up there. Big jump forward.
Cam at cards asking for a skip. Comes up a little short, but he'll have a putt.
Oh, kicked it. Great. Yeah.
Ryane will end up near the green as well. A pretty good set of shots in this wind. This is Cam for birdie. And he cans it. A fantastic putt through the trees, 35-footer, right just past circle's edge. And Ryane saves a nice par, just sneaks it in over the top of the rim. Jesse will also take birdie. So after some difficulties on the first few holes, this pro's hoping to settle in and get some birdies in the afternoon. Make sure to keep the chase card off their tail. So 3 birdies and 1 par for Ryane as Jesse holds on to a 4-stroke lead over Cam. Moving on to hole 8. On their first round, this was just a 220-foot chip shot. On Sunday, this is 355 feet. This is a really tricky shot. There's OB everywhere. There's a creek up the middle. There's OB to the left past the path. And there's OB in the trees, in that big grove of trees in the middle. So you can see Ben manages to stay in bounds, pulling his forehand back into the inbounds area. And you can see that pin is right next to trouble. As Cam throws a dangerous shot, he's just out of bounds despite throwing it maybe 30 feet from the basket. Definitely a rough break. Ryane will go with the laser shot. He ends up in a good spot there. He'll have a putt for birdie. Cam takes his OB shot, lays up, he'll have a putt for bogey. And Ben running a jump putt. This is Jesse from 65, and he cans it. We're going to have to see that on replay. Longest putt of the round so far. Jesse looks like he's on autopilot here. He goes to 11 under. So Ryane gets a nice birdie to keep pace. And it looks like Cam's going to drop 2 strokes on the lead here with that unfortunate OB4. Jesse Garcia, in the first round, he actually shot 993 with his 8 under. So he's definitely putting the foot on the gas here in the second round. Hole 9, we have a 355-foot par 3. This is one of the few really straightforward holes on what is a really technical and varied course. This is a pretty straightforward par 3. So a lot of variety on this tournament course between birdie holes, OB holes. Really forces these players to use every bit of their game. Ben calling for the gallery to watch out. He's skirting that OB line. Just manages to stay in. He has a huge crank on his forehand. There's Cameron going with the big hyzer. You can see the wind is just whipping that disc. And Cam manages an ace run. So we'll see if Jesse can make it a turkey. Oh, and he just misses to the right. He had that on the right height, right power. Cam misses a 20-footer for birdie. He is not happy with that. He knows there aren't that many birdie opportunities. That was one of them. So Ryane will take a bird. Excellent job here on hole 9 as we make it to the 1/3 mark of this 27-hole final round. So heading on to hole 10, Jesse's holding on to a 5-stroke lead over Ryane and 6 strokes over Ben and Cameron. Hole 10, we have our second par 4, 560 feet. This is not a particularly long par, but the wind makes these drives so much tougher to crush. And this is a snaking hole at the end. It's hard to see, but Ryane actually hit a 3-foot wide OB path right in the middle of the hole. That is really just luck there, losing that stroke. I was talking with the assistant tournament director before after the round. He told me that they put in a ton of work to get this course in perhaps the best shape it's ever been. This course was built in 1987, long before the advent of 600-foot par 4s. And it was definitely a pitch and putt kind of par 3.
Yeah, let it skip.
You can see here, it is anything but easy in 2016. So there's a Mando left of that tree. You can see a yellow sign, as Jesse will go with an overhand shot. He'll end up a little bit short there.
Go, 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 go. Go.
Cam, hoping for that to rise. He'll have a birdie chance down there. As Ben will lay up. These pros making this hole look a lot easier than it is. Oh, this Cam gives a valiant effort on that birdie 3. Jesse missing the 40-foot putt. So the rest of these guys will clean up their pars. And Ryane here with an unfortunate 5 because of that OB stroke. He really earned a par and will take the only bogey to put him back in a 3-way tie for second behind Jesse, who is out to a 6-stroke lead, 10 holes in. Hole 11, we have another big hole at 545 feet. There's OB on both edges of the hole if the players throw off target, with a river running all the way up the right side of the hole. As Jesse gets the safe signal from a spotter. Great work from the volunteers here this weekend. Definitely a community effort to make a tournament like this happen. I was told they put in hundreds of hours prepping a whole section of the course on the back half of the course that's not normally in play, working with the Parks Department to really get permission to make a big 27-hole dramatic course.
Drop. Black ace. That'll work. That's a good spot.
He just misses the Saturday basket. That's a good spot there. Ben with a high towering shot. He's just about 30 feet out there. As Jesse, just in cruise control, puts another good shot up there. He's having a fantastic second round. At 3 under par, even par on this second round came out to about 980. So 3 under would be just around 1,000. Ben goes a little bit long on that short putt. Ben to save par. It's a good effort there. Cam with the birdie putt. Cam has missed a lot of short putts on the start of this round. He's definitely frustrated missing a lot of these birdie ops, as Ryane gets a fantastic birdie, the only one on the card here on hole 11. So with a birdie 3, Ryane gains 1 stroke back on Jesse. Moving on to hole 12. These guys finally get a break from the long holes. This is one of the only holes that didn't get any longer on Sunday. It's 260 feet.
Oh, we got some.
But you're throwing right into a cage of trees, and Ryane actually didn't get a skip, as he barely ends up in the parking lot for out of bounds. Jesse here taking the left line, trying to thread it right through that cage of trees. Ben will take the hyzer approach, and on the 3rd try, he's the first one on the card to park this hole. Definitely an opportunity birdie if you can navigate the wind. Does it look like the wind grabbed Cam's disc and pulled it up? He's barely in bounds. He looks relieved. This is definitely a grueling tournament course. I've heard that oftentimes this tournament will be 100 degrees, giving the nuclear meltdown one of its two meanings. The other is because this course is not far from the Hanford nuclear disaster, perhaps the original namesake for the nuclear meltdown. Ben cleans up a great birdie. Excellent here. As Ryane with the OB stroke will take a 4. Jesse cleans up a 3. So Ben and Cameron take birdies. They're both 5 strokes behind Jesse. Ryane drops a stroke on hole 12. Hole 13, we have a 395-foot par 3. This is a long straight shot to the pin, but the pin is tucked behind an OB creek that adds a degree of danger for anyone trying to deuce this hole. This is a really cool hole. These guys have to peer it through this gap right in front of them, but they also need to make sure that they miss that OB pond. So you have to hold a turnover shot 400 feet with the wind, hugging the road, and try to skip it into the basket as Jesse is just making it look easy here. Beautiful drive. As Ryane loses his shades, going with the big air shot. Getting some love from the crowd. That is a gorgeous drive. These guys showing they're not afraid of the out of bounds. They're not afraid of the water. As Ben just clears the pond. He's relieved to have a putt for 3. Cam throws a nice upshot. He's about 10 feet from the pin. Unfortunately, Ben will come up with a bogey with a difficult wind putting, and Jesse will miss an uncharacteristic putt here on this final round. And Ryane will take advantage, carding the only deuce on the card. Excellent shot. Cam taps out a par. Jesse taps out a par. So Ryane and Cam are 5 strokes back of Jesse going into the last hole here of the first half. And it is a doozy. This is hole 14, 700 feet par 4. I've got to say, this might be the hardest hole I have ever seen in a tournament. It is 700 feet. The fairway is barely more than 30, 40 feet wide. There's a river, you can't see it, but there's actually a river all the way along the right, out of bounds, and then 700 feet of concrete on the left. So you have to pin a forehand skip shot off of the road, as Cam will show us, and land in that narrow fairway. This is an incredible hole just to par. And Ben will also get a gorgeous drive. That's even longer than Cam's. That is an awesome shot. Ryane here will make it safe, but he hits that early tree. That was his OB3. This is Jesse with his OB3, and you can see he is just playing it safe. With another 450 feet to the pin. Doesn't want to try anything too crazy, as Ryane with his 4th shot will go way out of bounds, because they are dealing with a lot of headwind here. And Cam, throwing right into the headwind, throws a huge hyzer. He'll have a 50-foot birdie putt. And Ryane, after 2 OBs, no fear, he goes right at the pin. putting for his 7. As Ben with another great shot. Both Ben and Cam missing all those OBs. They'll both have a chance at birdie as Jesse actually throws his second shot out of bounds. That's his 6th shot, a forehand roller. Cam misses his birdie, but a 4 on this hole, as you can tell, will definitely be one of the better scores here. So Ryan just cleans up his 7. Cam and Ben will tap out pars. They take 3 strokes on Jesse and Ryan. And Jesse's lead, which was 6 strokes going into this hole, is now only 3 strokes. Actually, 2 strokes over Cam and 3 strokes over Ben. So going into part 2, we are suddenly back to a pretty tight card. Please check out more of Northwest Disc Golf's video coverage, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed our video. Thanks for watching.